TSF Entertainment.
Yo, welcome back to TSF Entertainment. And this time we bringing you something a little different. This time we bringing you Raising Kanan, Season 3, Episode 9 and 10, Early Predictions. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Episode 9 synopsis says Ronnie and Kanan's feud with Rock intensifies as Marvin desperately searches for Lou. Famous and Jukebox find themselves at a turning point. Now, all these scenes for episode 9 we've seen from the trailer itself. So, to kick us off, we see Lou driving around drunk, driving, having a sip while he's driving, and none other gets picked up by the NYPD. Now, what we don't know is why he got picked up from the NYPD. Going to more than likely assume he got picked up for drinking and driving. He got a DWI. In the scene here, we saw Rock and Howard discussing about Lou as Rock tells Howard she can't find him and she needs him off the street. Now, from those previous scenes that we just saw, could be quite possible Howard put out an APB and that's how they were able to find Lou and lock him up for a DWI. Or he could have just got pulled over for a DWI. This is also possibly where Rock and Howard hatched a plan that once they do get Lou, they take him to that hideaway, hold him hostage, etc. and whatnot. Here in this scene, we have Kanan and Rock going back and forth with Kanan's involvement in the game. And Rock tells Kanan that he's done, he's out, Benito. Where Kanan tells Rock, I can make a few calls. There's some places that they'll take you. Whoa. So basically, he is now threatening his mother with none other more than likely Ronnie, Snaps, and Pop, telling her, that, hey, I could just make a few calls. They'll take you places, put you in a ditch, make sure you disappear, whatnot. Here we have Snaps, Pop, Ronnie, and Kanan. And a sit down where Snaps lets Kanan know that Rock is messing up his investment. They could also possibly be giving Kanan, which we saw him sitting down, an ultimatum saying, hey, we know this is your mother, but are you with her or are you with us? Could also be possibly where Kanan is actually sitting down with them and trying to hatch a plan to remove Rock altogether or get them to where they don't unalive her and they can continue business where her business is destroyed. This is a interesting scene as we see here. Ronnie is laying on the top of the hood with none other than Joaquin behind him. If you saw an episode 9 trailer, you saw where the cars rolled up on Ronnie. From here, this could possibly be where Ronnie is going to pick up his work as he had a side deal with Juliana. This is possibly where he always goes to pick up the work from Juliana, and Joaquin rolls up on him, knowing, of course, since he now knows that he had a side deal with Juliana, he comes to let him know, hey, Juliana is gone. Or just coming to say, hey, there's no work. Now, it could also go where after this, Ronnie and Joaquin start to do business, as we know since Juliana was Ronnie's plug and she's now unalived. Maybe they continue on and do business with each other. Or it just could go the other way where Joaquin says, hey, you had a deal with Juliana, not me. Go find you another plug. And that's it. Here we see Lou, which is possibly still drunk. They have him in a hideaway, tied to a chair, where he's talking to Howard, probably saying some insane things again. And Howard threatens to unalive him, puts the gun to his head, which also could possibly be the exact same gun that he used to unalive Bert. Then walks in Rock, which none other shocks Lou. So immediately here, more than likely, Lou's thinking that Rock is just going to unalive him. It's going to take him out altogether, which might be the plan with Howard and Rock, but Marv is not down with it. Marvin says, this is our brother. He tries to reason with Rock. This is our brother. I can help him. As we know in episode 8, he's been trying to help him. He's been telling Rock, he just needs help. I can help him. So Marv is going to be the one that's going to try to talk some reasoning into her, saying we cannot unalive our brother. This is our brother. I'll get him help. I'll go with him, do everything that needs to be done, etc. And just could quite possibly be where there's no intentions on unaliving Lou. Basically just keeping him off the street until they handle certain things, certain businesses or certain deals or whatnot. It could also quite possibly be where she tells Marv he needs to be the one to unalive Lou. Here we see Famous and Ronnie back at Famous former crib. Not sure. As we see Ronnie's jacking Famous up. Could be Famous was just coming back past the crib, maybe to holler at Kanan, or maybe it was something there that he left. He came to grab, and Kanan wasn't there, and Ronnie is there, which, Ronnie told him last time, I could show you what shook means, and maybe just trying to, shake him up, scare him a little bit, probably trying to get some information out of him in reference to Rock and, Rock messing up their connect, messing with their money, etc. There's been a theory also going around that this scene right here, he jacks him up from Famous tape from his song where Famous talks about unaliving Freddie. And in the previous episode, he told Famous, Kanan said that you talk too much. And he hears the song, and this is the reason why he jacks him up. I'm not thinking that is the actual reason, as Ronnie has no knowledge of Freddie, whatnot. The only person that knows is Kanan, unless Kanan told Ronnie himself. I think this is more so he's trying to get knowledge from Famous about stuff with Rock. Here we have Butter performing. We all know that Juke is the lead singer, and they were opening up for Shanice. So this basically here is them, none other than just opening up for Shanice for their showcase and performing. But here we have Jukebox sitting in a room, which we can tell is after the show. Now, there's two possible scenarios with this. It's a little hard to tell from the background. She could possibly be in a holding cell. Maybe something happened where NYPD grabs her, locks her up. Maybe for the assault on the two girls on the train. Or this could quite possibly be where the recruiters have came after her to let her know, like, you have enlisted, you have to go into the service. Not really sure what's in her hand. From the looks of it, it looks like it's a cup. I mean, I'm thinking it's none other than just a cup. She has a sip of water and she's just squeezing the cup out of anger. Here we see Snaps holding up a gun in his restaurant. This scene here, not sure who is it that walks into his restaurant. I'm going to possibly think it's Kanan, as that is the exact same sweater he had on in the previous scenes that were shown. Maybe this is where, after he finds out that Rock is messing up his business, Kanan comes in, and of course, immediately he pulls out a strap and points it at Kanan, as at this point he might think that Kanan is trying to set him up. And that's where all four of them sit down and have the discussion. Who knows? It might not be Kanan. Maybe this is the introduction to Breeze, character that everybody has been wanting to see forever. This could possibly be the introduction into the Breeze character, coming as he's hearing that now, since Juliana is gone, Ronnie is now looking for a new plug. Who knows? Episode 10 synopsis says, desperation sets in as Howard tries to evade the task force, and Ronnie goes on an attack, leaving Rock and Kanan to make some fateful choices. Now, these next couple of scenes that you are about to see, these are scenes that we've seen in previous trailers, but have yet to actually see them happen in the episode as of yet. So these scenes that are about to come up, they could happen in episode 9, they could happen in episode 10. This scene here, we see there is work being bagged up, it's being packaged, getting ready to get shipped out, and they're pouring some type of sugar, salt, etc. on top of it. As we all know, Rock was going to use the Chinese restaurants to move her work. They were going to use her equipment, her barrels. So more than likely, this is exactly what's going on here. As you know, they are blackmailing Terry and David, since Terry was caught. Well, I'm sorry, maybe it was David. But as we know, they are blackmailing them to use their warehouses and to use their packaging. So more than likely, that's exactly what's going on here. They're just working, just loading up the work, throwing it into the barrels to move the work out of the Chinese restaurants. Here is a very, very interesting scene that we have not seen. Now, this could be 9, this could be 10, where we see Kanan gets kidnapped. Now, the question is, who's kidnapping Kanan? Could this be Rock doing to scare Kanan? Could this be Snaps and Pops doing also to maybe try to get an upper hand on Rock? This also could quite possibly be a plan that Kanan hatched out to get Rock out of the game, as he tells Snaps and Pop to use him, as a ploy to say, hey, if you're not out the game, we're going to unalive your son. And this is what they do. They kidnap him. Now, it's very, very hard to see, but it looks like that is Ronnie in the driver's seat of this van, as in previous scenes that we saw for episode 9, he was actually driving a van to go to the warehouse. Why he was going to a warehouse, we don't know. That's where Joaquin and them rolled up on it, but kind of looks like the exact same van that looks like Ronnie in the driver's seat, but who knows, we haven't gotten there yet. So, and here we see they do a drive-by on Rock. Now, again, we don't know if this is episode 9 or episode 10. This could be possibly where she is in the scene that we saw previous, where she's talking to Howard, and they roll up on her and try to unalive her and shoot up her Range Rover. Now, of course, we all know who's behind the hit, as Snap says, Rock is messing with our investment. So, this is more than likely they're doing. Here we have Marvin and Gerald, and Marvin looks very angry, which is, I'm going to assume here, this is where Gerald tells Marvin exactly what's been going on why he was asking so many different questions. He got picked up by the feds. They've been using me as a CI to get more information on you. This is everything that's going on. And this is why Marvin is so angry. That could be. Now, the question is, if this is the case, what does Marvin do? Does Marvin take out Gerald? Or does Marvin go into hiding? Or does he share this information with Rock? And they go to Howard, where we all know Howard knows this information, but still has yet to tell Marv or Rock. Here in this scene, we have Rock and Kanan, which looks like they are in a warehouse. And if you read the synopsis for episode 10, it said that Ronnie makes them choose their fate. So in this scene, which I said, we don't know if it's episode 9 or episode 10. I'm leaning more towards 10. Maybe here, this is where we get a standoff where they literally have to choose. Where Ronnie says, hey, Kanan, take out Rock, so forth. Maybe this is also the end result of where Kanan gets kidnapped that we saw in earlier scenes. But again, we don't know until we see those episodes. So please make sure to like and subscribe. Also, go down in the comments and drop your predictions and your theories on what you just saw, and let us know exactly what you think.